But there was one time early in my career where I was a young fella and I was working for Border City Wrestling, a young kid where they were just giving me a singles push. And this is just before I started working enhancements for WWE. And so before the Air Canada Center story, I started working a year before that with Terry Taylor, the Red Rooster, as you know him, tailor-made man, one of the legends of professional wrestling, one of the greatest coaches that WWE has right now, just a phenomenal mind for business, understands his business more than anybody, and really gets it, really gets it, and a great worker to boot. So Terry Taylor and I were locked into this feud for over a year. So my learning really happened with Terry because Terry didn't teach me moves. I went to school, I learned to bump, I learned moves. Once I was done school, I had no idea how to put it all together. Terry's the one that really helped me on my way to learn how to put stuff together. So the first match we're in together, I do this silly dance that I was known for back then. I'm doing this goofy dance. I'm playing to the crowd. I'm always on the crowd. I turn my back completely away from Terry. I'm jawing with the crowd, being a baby face, saying, I'll get him. I'll get that chicken. I'll get him. And in that time, Terry Taylor smashes me in the back of the head so hard that I see white. So, you know, when you get a good stinger right in the back of the head, that's what Terry gave me. He slapped me in the back of the head so hard. And then when I turned around and looked at him, he was doing the kind of the Tully Blanchard shuffle around the ring. And under his breath, he says, "Don't you turn your back on me, son." And I remember him chuckling to himself as he had just smacked the ever-living shit out of me. As a way of learning me. And that's what sometimes kids need to learn, and that's the best way to teach them, is give them a spanking, basically. Not really used very much nowadays because a lot of sensitive people would be up in arms over that, but back in the day, it's one of the best moments of my whole career is I've learned now then, and as I know now, you never turn your back on an opponent, and it's probably the best way to learn a kid and smarten them up real quick.
That's a good lesson you'll never forget.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful lesson. It's a beautiful lesson, and it's done by one of the greatest of all time. And it's so profound with me. It's such a profound spot that I still, to this day, can see him as I turn around, shuffling around that ring, smirking and giggling under his breath, saying, "Don't turn your back on me, son." It was one of the highlights, and it will always be one of my fondest memories of professional wrestling.